Hi Taurus, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your February 2026 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a 12 card spread with each of those cards representing a different house of the zodiac. Starting with your sign, Taurus is the first house, moving all the way through to the 12th house represented by Aries. And once we get through that, we'll pull an oracle card to put a bow in the reading. As far as the decks being used as the main tarot deck this month, we have the Hermetic Tarot. For the Oracle deck, we'll have the Wisdom of the Oracle. And we're actually going to start the reading off our Roll Nose Astrology as we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have the Moon. So usually when this comes up, I think about the major lunar cycles that'll be taking place during the month. So right on February 1st, we're going to have a full moon in Leo, which is your 4th house, which represents home roots and family. And then there's going to be a new moon eclipse on the 17th of February, which is going to be in Aquarius, and that's your 10th house of career and social status. So definitely look out for those two cycles in particular. Alright, we have 8. So 8th house energy for you guys is Sagittarius. Astrologically speaking, that area of the zodiac's a little quiet right now, but it could just be saying that you have some focus on that area of life, which in general points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. And we have Leo. So yeah, once again, like I said, we're going to have that full moon in Leo right on the 1st. So that's really the main thing going on in Leo, but looks like there could definitely be some significance to 4th house energy for you guys for sure this month. Alright, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. Okay, so in the 1st house, which generally points to personality, self-awareness, and appearance, we have the Princess of Swords, which is referred to as the Princess of the Rushing Winds in this deck. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So it could just be saying that maybe you're doing something a little bit different when it comes to how you communicate, so you might feel maybe you're just communicating with different people or you're just in a different environment, but I feel like it's primarily pointing to your communication and possibly the way you're thinking might be shifting a little bit this month as well. Alright, so 2nd house energy, which represents possession, self-worth, and finances, we have the Chariot. So this is Cancerian energy here. And yeah, this could just be saying that you might feel like things are improving when it comes to your finances, primarily, even like we mentioned, self-worth as well could get a boost there. And this does make me think of the fact that we've had Jupiter in Cancer for quite some time. It's still retrograde, but in early March it'll actually start moving direct again, so that could be the significance of that too. So you might start to feel the momentum building as we progress through February and then continue on into March. Alright, in the 3rd house, which represents communication, short journeys, and siblings, we have the King of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here, so this could just be saying to me between seeing the Chariot energy, which, like we said, is 2nd house, a financial thing, and then seeing this here in the 3rd house with the Princess of Swords, could just be saying that you might have a lot of communication around finances or possibly career this month, and in doing so, I feel like this is saying that you're actually going to have some conversations that help you build your confidence and make you feel more sure of yourselves, which is definitely a positive. Alright, so in the 4th house, which primarily represents roots, family, and home, we have the Ace of Cups, referred to as the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Water here. So yeah, so it could just be saying within your home environment, you might actually find yourselves getting some creative ideas, possibly feeling inspired in some way as well. And like we said, given that there's going to be that full moon to kick off the month of February, you might feel it pretty early on as well. And this could just be saying you might just be feeling really comfortable within your home environment too. Okay, so 5th house energy, which generally points to romance, creativity, and children, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is actually a Capricorn energy, so a fellow Earth sign, and it's referred to as the Queen of the Thrones of Earth here. So Seeing this here, I feel like this is saying that you might have some creative ideas, but at the same time, you're going to find ways to quickly ground them in reality, right? So one of those things where it's not just ideas that are dead ends and lead nowhere, but it's ideas that you have that'll actually have practical footing in them that you could actually go out and apply, which is definitely a good indicator as far as the room for growth and potential there. Right. In the sixth house, which in general points to health, work, and daily routines, we have the Magician. So yeah, we can see some Mercury symbolism in this card, and I will say there's going to be Mercury retrograde. It doesn't really officially kick off till the 26th of February, but it'll be in its pre-shadow period for a couple weeks before that as well. So looking with this, that could be actually what's bringing some of this creativity to your thoughts, to where you might find some creative ways to deal with your work lives, right, and improve them in the process. So, in that regard, retrogrades always have to be a bad thing, right? If you've been looking at an area of life that you felt was a little bit lacking anyway, sometimes those retrogrades could actually help you revisit something from a different angle and make improvements. All right, so for the seventh house, we have the Empress. So generally speaking, the Hierophant is the main major arcana card for your sign, but I often view the Empress as very much a Taurus energy as well. I mean, we see the Venus symbolism as well in the card. So looking at this here, I feel like this is saying with your partnerships, you might actually be feeling open and receptive, right? And sometimes when you're in that energy, that does tend to bring things your way as well. So yeah, so like I said, it seems like there's going to be some discussions taking place. They're going to improve your confidence. And then, like I said, I feel like as that grows, opportunities will be coming your way as well. Okay, so for eighth house, which we saw come up with the dice as well, we have the Two of Swords. And in general, eighth house points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. And in this deck, it's referred to as the Lord of Peace Restored. So yeah, so especially for eighth house, right? So let's say if you did have money concerns, right? Maybe you made investments and it seemed like they were going nowhere, right? It seemed like dead end kind of things, or even around intimacy, right? If you felt like that was lacking a little bit for a little bit of time within your connections, I feel like this is saying that this could actually be an indicator that those things are getting back on the right track. All right. In the ninth house, which in general points to philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs, we have the star. So this is Aquarian energy here, which we did mention. There's going to be that new moon eclipse in Aquarius on the 17th. So that's going to be making an aspect with Uranus in your sign too. So there's some significance with that. But yeah, to see this coming up here, to me, this says that I feel like maybe there's some adjustments to your world views, or maybe even just something about your viewpoint on something. It doesn't have to be a major overhaul of your views, but it seems like you're going to be looking at something from a different angle this month, and it's actually going to greatly improve the situation for you across multiple areas of life. All right, so for 10th house, which points to career and social status, we have the High Priestess. So yeah, so again, this points to what I was saying, where it seems like there's creativity flowing for you guys, right? Maybe like we mentioned, that Piscean energy kicking up is gonna bring some thoughts your way. But seeing this here, and not to mention with creativity too, Neptune recently moved back into your 12th house, so maybe that's sparking some creativity for you as well. But yeah, to see this here, I feel like this is saying intuitively you'll be guided in the right direction as well when it comes to your career and work lives. All right. And for the 11th house, pointing to friendships, groups, and hopes and wishes, we have the Nine of Cups. So Piscean energy here, referred to as the Lord of Material Happiness. So yeah, so I feel like this is saying that, again, kind of what I was seeing here too, where I was saying it seems like you might have these conversations that are going to be pivotal for you guys. So to see that here, to me, this tells me that could be through the friendships you deal with or any groups you associate with, or you might just have these conversations and your takeaway from the conversation, even if it wasn't the goal of the conversation, seems to have a lasting impression on you that could actually propel things forward for you in a positive way in your life. All right. And in the 12th house, which generally speaking points to spirituality, blind spots, and mental health, we have the Eight of Cups. So more Piscean energy here, referred to as the Lord of Abandoned Success. So seeing this, along with some of the other energies we were talking about, what this could be saying, because 12th house, sometimes it could be a bit of a self-sabotage energy. So for some of you, maybe it's like the people you talk with might actually help restore your confidence in some way this month, So maybe if you've given up on yourselves in some way, the conversations you have with people, again, like I said, some of them, they'll consciously be doing so to restore your confidence. But for others of you, it just might be one of those things that someone might say something in passing, but it leaves a lasting impression on you. And in the process, I feel like it's going to really just get you in touch with yourselves again, to where, if you have had your confidence shaken in the past, you might feel it starting to come back. All right. And bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So Libran energy here. And this could just be saying that maybe that's ultimately what's meant to happen on a karmic level, right? So if things have been in balance for you guys for a while, things maybe felt a little heavy, right? Going back to what we were saying about Venus being a ruler. Could this be saying if the Saturnian influence of things was making things feel a little bit more heavy for you recently, now we'll see that balance restored. But we'll see what the Oracle card adds to the mix. So like I said, we're going to pull a card from Wisdom the Oracle deck here. So I'm going to give this a few more shuffles, then I'll put the deck down, then cut the deck, we'll pull a card that way. Okay. So I'll take this card here. Let me get this out of the way and we'll see what cards you got. All right, we have Happy Happy. There's the artwork, and the number is 26. So certainly sounds positive there too, right? We'll see what it says in the book. All right, central meanings says joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. The oracle's message: your desires are effortlessly fulfilled now. Find joy in the present moment, whatever is happening, and be satisfied with things as they are. You're free from the shackles of longing and able to experience the liberation that comes from actually being happy moment to moment, for you have chosen happiness over yearning for it. Now is the time for feeling joy for the sake of joy and experiencing contentment. None of this is because of something outside yourself. Your happiness is a result of your being at one with Spirit's plan for your life. All is well. The tide is in for now. Enjoy playfully splashing in it. So definitely a positive message here for sure. And again, it seems to point to what I was feeling there with that 12th house is, maybe you guys are just feeling a little bit down on yourselves for whatever reason, and now it seems like you could be coming out on the other side of that. All right, the relationship message says there are moments in a relationship when you just feel good about whom you're with, and you know that your heart is wide open to befriend, to love, and to care for another, without wanting anything in return. This is the kind of happy that you want to share. The appearance of this card in a reading tells you that joy and contentment are here now, not somewhere else or off in the future. The grass is greenest right where you stand. Be grateful and delight in your relationship, and if you're looking for one, be happy now. Happiness attracts more of itself, like bees to honey. So reading that message definitely makes me think of what we were seeing here as far as seeing the Empress in the 7th house, as far as, like I mentioned, attracting opportunities. All right, and the prosperity message says this is a time to take pride in your accomplishments. You're doing good work, providing exceptional service, and are well compensated for it. The world rains gratitude upon you, and you're happy with the results of your efforts and creativity. Isn't it amazing to consider all that you've done? Remember your partnership with Spirit in this moment too. Your soul has always known you could accomplish anything if it brought you joy. So definitely a positive message there as well. So like I said, for some of you, it seems like you might have gone through a bit of a dark period recently. Plenty of reasons that could have been happening, right? But again, like I said, it seems like you're coming out on the other side of that, which of course usually has not an instantaneous thing, but I feel like at the very least you'll start to feel indicators of that this month if you haven't already. All right, so hopefully that resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there. All right, bye.